Take a look at the grid for the German Grand Prix. A surprise performance from Nico Hülkenberg saw him grab his second pole in Formula 1. With added energy from the fans and a slip up from Mercedes, the German will be starting on the front row for tomorrow's race. Another surprise today arose too, with Romain Grosjean placing his Lotus alongside the Force India, capitalising on issues throughout the field and finding the most performance from his Enstone-based car. Sebastian Vettel lines directly behind his fellow countryman, but was very frustrated that he couldn't capitalise on the Mercedes issues after making a crucial mistake on his lap. Mercedes have some thinking to do after today, with both of their cars still inside the top 5 but 2.8 seconds off the pace due to their tyre warm-up issues. After Hamilton and Rosberg, the two Williams drivers of Massa and Bottas follow suit in 6th and 7th, with the first Toro Rosso of Sainz in 8th. The lone Red Bull of Ricciardo and Max Verstappen round out the top 10 for today's qualifying. Can Hülkenberg grab his first win in Formula 1 tomorrow, or will Mercedes be able to tackle their issues and challenge for the victory tomorrow? Next up, it's the German Grand Prix.
What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 Ultra Mod career mode. We're back with part number 10 today for the German Grand Prix, and we have got an absolute crazy race ahead of us with that grid order. I mean, absolute madness that Nico Hülkenberg was able to get pole position and Grosjean got second. The Mercedes having some issues in qualifying. Right now in the race, you can see it's overcast now. In qualifying, it was nice and sunny, so that's going to also mix things up. Temperatures will be different, and also we've got a chance of rain later on in the race. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking. The German Grand Prix, the German Grand Prix wasn't in the 2015 season. Well, obviously, as you can probably guess, we can't do the Mexican Grand Prix because we're using the 2014 game, which physically can't have the Mexican Grand Prix in it. You can't even mod anything like that. That's just out of the realms of modding. So you can't have the Mexican Grand Prix. So to keep the calendar the same length, 19 rounds, I'm going to have the German Grand Prix, I should say, right now at Hockenheim, and then we're going to skip over where the Mexican Grand Prix would be. We're going to go straight to Brazil when we would have had Mexico. So I'm kind of happy about that. You know, the Hockenheim ring is a really nice track. I actually really enjoyed it back when we raced on it, and I just don't know why the German Grand Prix really got axed off. I mean, obviously the German, the organisers didn't feel like they could, pay for it or whatever, or they didn't feel like they have enough interest, even though they have a German quadruple world champion, which was a little bit weird to me. But anyway, that's enough about talking about real life F1. We're here for the German Grand Prix in the Ultra Mod season. It's a very mixed up grid today. We've got my teammate Sebastian, his home Grand Prix today. He's qualified ahead of the Mercedes cars, so hopefully he can do well. And what can I do from P20? Let's go find out for the German Grand Prix. Let's head to the grid. Right, so here we are at a very dreary Hockenheim grid for the German Grand Prix in P20. We've got forecast for rain later today, but right now 5 red lights and we are off for the German Grand Prix. Let's see what we can do in these opening laps. A very mixed up grid, so hopefully Hülkenberg up in P1 can do something today and maybe hold up the Mercedes and the likes of the front runners so we can kind of get up there and get some good points today. Obviously, after being defeated by the Mercedes at Silverstone, my home Grand Prix last time out, I want to try and do better and get one up on them. So now we go around the outside of Jenson Button, who's been squeezed out. We've got Will Stevens there going very slowly. Rossi doing well to get up into 17th place, but now, unfortunately, mate, we're just going to take you very easily up into Rich Mix so we can get the straight line speed going on this Ferrari engine. We've got Button overtaking Kvyat there in the Red Bull. Kvyat doing quite poorly right now in the braking zone, going very slowly. And we go down the inside of him in first gear. Can we just about squeeze him out? Yes, we can. But at the same time, look, we've lost a bit of our front wing there on Jenson Button. Just as I squeezed the throttle out too much to squeeze Kvyat out, Button really wasn't going anywhere, so I smashed off a bit of my front wing. But there's no harm done so far. You can carry on. Unlike 2015, when you do break a little bit of your front wing on this game, you are able to keep up with the pace, and it's not like a huge nightmare that you have to pit straight away. So we are going to be able to continue on right now on lap 1, and Button getting squeezed out there by the car he was trying to overtake. So now can we make a move down the inside? We go down the inside of the stadium section. The crowd goes wild, obviously, as we give them some action straight away on lap 1. Still going side by side, actually. Jensen is still giving me a real good fight, and we're still side by side. He's actually got me, and now through the final corner, we've made contact with him. I think we lost a bit of our front wing again. Yes, we have. So literally now, our front wing is just it's just a plank of carbon fiber. I was trying to find the words there. Yeah, it's just a plank of carbon fiber now, because you can see there now on the replay cameras as we go third person here. So Ericsson tries to overtake us there. I think that's Ericsson at least. Yes, it is. We've got just a plank of carbon fiber as a front wing, so that's gonna affect our car a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we still don't have to pit on this game for that damage. We can continue on, but it is definitely going to affect us a little bit. There'll be a little bit of understeer here and there, especially through the high-speed corners, I think. So we have to watch out for that and try and get used to that a little bit. But now we're closing back up on Jensen Button, who annoyingly actually got us there and kind of squeezed us out and, you know, made us break our front wing again twice. So we actually lost both our end plates on Jensen Button's rear end there. But, you know, he did well. Fair enough to him. He went side by side with me through the entire stadium section there up until the last corner and actually squeezed me out then. So fair play. But you can just see how much understeer I'm getting now through that right hander. Went very wide, and then through here, look at that, completely missing the apex and going very, very wide, very close to that gravel trap on the left, which would have been quite nasty. And our engine is overheating as well at the same time, so we've got all these problems to compound together, and that's not really helping us. So we're staying in 16th place so far. We're really not actually catching Jensen too much. Hopefully we can get DRS and get within 1 second, then we can try and use our Ferrari engine to try and catch him, because obviously he's in the Honda powered McLaren, so that shouldn't be too fast in a straight line. Up at top, we can see Verstappen's P13. I was actually looking to see if Hulkenberg was still in first place, because obviously he did amazingly to get pole position. It would be absolutely amazing to see him get a win here at Hockenheim. That would be absolutely madness. But obviously oh, what the hell was that? What on earth was that? I was talking about something else, and then a Red Bull. I think that was a Red Bull that just stopped in the middle of the straight. I think that might have been Ricciardo, because we already overtook a Fiat. So I think that must have been Ricciardo going very slowly, must have had some sort of issue on the main straight. So we overtook him, and now Verstappen, who's been squeezed out by both the McLarens there, we're going to go and overtake him very nicely on the exit of the hairpin. So now both McLarens scrapping away. We tried to have another look at Jensen Button down the inside there, but just not enough, and now we've lost the rear end, and Max is right past us there. So we tried to have a look at Button, and that actually worked out worse for us because we lost the back end on the exit. So now, can we go down the inside of Max? We go side by side through the fast right hander. Max giving me the space. Respect to him. He's seen me there, and he's got great kind of what do you call it, like 3D perspective there of where my car was, and he gave me the space just about. We could have made some contact there, but we just about made it with a really nice clean move on that right hander. And Perez setting the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So just showing the Force Indias really do have some good pace at the beginning of this Grand Prix. The pole position Hulkenberg got wasn't really a fluke. So now we're going to look at a replay of this, because I really think it's worth looking at a replay, because we got oh so close to Max's front wing there. We go side by side, and oh, that is a lovely camera angle, you must say. Side by side with Max. Fair play to him. He gives me the space, and we make that move stick. So now we're on to lap 4. We're still chasing down Jensen Button and Alonso. Actually, Alonso now. He's dropped behind Button. So we're going purple now. So it looks like we're slowly finding our feet with this kind of less downforce Ferrari front end. And we're slowly closing back on these McLarens. And we make a huge move on Alonso there. Completely just dive down to Narnia at the hairpin, and we overtook him there. That was quite over-dramatic, actually, I think, to be honest, looking back at that move. And we tried to, again, have a look at Jensen Button, but again, it doesn't work out. Thankfully, this time, we don't lose the back end, but that was a very over-dramatic dive bomb move on Alonso. But hey-ho, we made it stick anyway, so it worked out. Maybe we scared Fernando in the car. He must have been looking back in his mirror saying, what on earth is this crazy Britishman doing in the Ferrari, just charging down my inside. So we're up into 13th place anyway, and we're still setting another purple sector. So you can see that eventually now I'm finding my feet with the kind of reduced downforce, and we're going to try and pump in the lap times. Surprisingly, so far, Vettel or both Mercedes haven't set a purple lap time yet. It's actually Carlos Sainz setting a purple time, until I obviously go set a purple time, as you can see on the top right. But Carlos Sainz setting a fastest lap before I did. So that's absolutely crazy that the Mercedes or my teammate Vettel in the same car haven't been able to set a purple time yet. So that either means they're getting held up by Hulkenberg up ahead, or by Perez, who was going quite fast, or maybe they're just having the same issues they were having in qualifying. Obviously, the Mercedes, they couldn't heat up their tyres, and Vettel had a little mistake, so maybe he hasn't found his form yet in this race so far. But on lap 5, down to the hairpin, bang, bish, bash, done. I can't even English, that's not the phrase. It's bish, bash, bosh, that's the order. We've overtaken Button there for 12th place, and that was another really aggressive dive bomb into the hairpin. Really make it stick, really just flex flex the muscles a little bit and show him who's boss right now, and we overtake him for 12th place. So the next car up is Pastor Maldonado. Hopefully we're able to catch him soon, and we're getting near to the points then. On to lap 6 now, though. We're going to close in on Maldonado. We've got DRS wide open. That Lotus car isn't actually going very fast here, and I think we should be able to get him in the hairpin. Let's see, into the braking zone. We brake a little bit earlier, but allows us to roll the car in a bit faster into the hairpin. We get him very, very easily for P11, so it's a little tactic where you brake a little bit earlier than the AI, but you don't brake as hard, and so that you can keep the momentum of your car going actually faster into the corner, and you just simply sort of roll the car in and easily take the move, instead of actually going for the really aggressive dive bomb like I might have done on the McLaren. It was easier to brake earlier but less, and just have more momentum going to that hairpin corner, especially since I was actually quite a bit back from Maldonado. I didn't really know what he's doing. Obviously, it is Maldonado, so I was taking it quite cautiously. But now we're on to going on to lap 9 now at the moment. We're closing down his teammate Romain Grosjean, but not so much. You can see Button is actually closing up on us, and he's within 1 second of us. He's able to stick with us. He overtook Maldonado himself, so that's a little bit worrying that we haven't had the pace to close up Grosjean. He's still 4 seconds ahead of us, and Jenson Button is keeping up with us, and I'm pretty sure he has DRS right now, although I'll be pretty damn surprised if he, you know, caught us down this straight, because he is in the McLaren Honda, so I'll be very, very surprised if he came flying past us, which he's not. As you can see in the mirrors, he's still very much behind us, but the fact is, he's sticking with us, so I think it might be time to consider pitting for another set of tyres, but crucially changing our front wing, because I think right about now the tyres aren't grippy enough to keep my car at good pace. My front wing is now actually kind of hurting my pace at the moment, so it might be worth to pit for a fresh front wing, option tyres, and then just blast it. I mean, obviously there's going to be a chance of rain later on in the race, and looking at the skies, it's quite overcast. The rain might be coming in, like, you know, 10-20 laps time. It could be worth it. This could work out if we pit right now or in the next lap or two, and then just bang in purple lap times on fresh options with a full front wing. So I'm going to have to think about that. On to lap 10 though, the very next lap, and my team have pretty much made the decision for me. They are telling me to come into the pits. You can see on the right hand side, they say my tyres are gone anyway, and this is the time to pit anyway for new fresh tyres. So pretty good coincidence that I wanted to pit for a front wing, and they told me that I should pit for fresh tyres. So we're going to come in at the end of this lap for a fresh set of option tyres, fresh front wing, and hopefully then we can just bang in the lap times and try and close in on Grosjean, because at the moment you can see we're not actually closing in too much. We've closed a little bit, but again, crucially, Button is right behind us as well, just showing that the McLaren is keeping up with us, which shouldn't be the case. So there's a little bit of a train in front of Grosjean, so that's quite actually you know, positive signs that if we could maybe get an undercut on Grosjean, if he doesn't pit straight away on this lap, we could try and get undercut and really get on the back of that train, which is obviously going a little bit slower in the dirty air. So we come into the pits, Grosjean comes into the pits, actually, Button comes into the pits, that entire train has come into the pits actually, so we're not going to get any sort of undercut here, but we might just be able to have the good enough pace after our pit stop to try and close up on that train. And I think that was a train of like 4 cars, so that will be from P11 to P7, so that will be absolutely fantastic. But right now we made our pit stop. Unfortunately we got held up by Button there a little bit. We've had a slower pit stop, 6.2 obviously because of that front wing change, and that means Button is ahead of us now, so we're going to have to try and re-overtake him. As we come out in the pits though, you can just about see, I hope you can see that guys, faintly, there's a bit of rain. Now, this may be a bit alarming because we just pit for dry tyres, but I feel like it's just starting to rain now, so we're still good for about 5 laps to really charge on these option tyres, and I think I still made the right call. I'm still going to stick with that. I've made the right decision here. We've got DRS. We cut the corner a little bit on the exit of that corner onto the back straight just because my tyres were quite cold, but we make a move down the inside of Button. I am taking no prisoners right now, no messing about. I don't want to get held up by Button again, basically, for another stint, so I made that move very, very fast there. We're back up to 12th place, and now we can really get the hammer down and try and close up on Romain Grosjean. And here's hoping that with the more downforce we have, you know, with the front wing now changed and the fresh option tyres, we can try and really chase them down. And the thing is, obviously it's going to be a bit slippery now because the rain is coming down, but I already had less downforce before, so to me, I've got more grip. Obviously to the rest of the grids, they've got less grip because it's getting a bit more slidey because of the water on the track. But for me, it's still more grip than I had before because I had no front wing basically before, and now I've got a full one. So really, it's going to be like a net kind of good feeling for me right now in the car. And you can see it, because we've closed up on Grosjean within 1 lap now through the first turn, very aggressively, open DRS, and you can see also the Sauber of Nasser's coming out to make a double overtake just before the back straight there here at Hockenheim, and we're up into 9th place, into the points finally. And I can see also Sebastian Vettel, you can see on the top left there briefly while I was making that move, was in 1st place. So awesome stuff. My teammate, his home Grand Prix, he's right now leading the German Grand Prix. So that's absolutely fantastic. And on lap 12 now, we're setting another purple sector. We're closing up on Massa now, who's getting held up quite a lot. He's actually going quite slowly. It feels like maybe the entire grid has a bit less confidence in the car. Obviously, as I just mentioned, they're going to feel a lack of grip due to the wet track. I'm going to feel a bit more grip compared to what I had in the first stint. And now, through the final corner, we close up on Massa, going side by side. Can we make a move down the inside? He's going very aggressive on me, and he still keeps that position for 8th place. So we're going to have to stick behind with DRS, and hopefully we can try and overtake him on the back straight. He's going to try and make a move on whoever the car is ahead. I think that's Sainz there in the Toro Rosso. We do a very different racing line to him, so we can cut back on him onto the back straight. And now here, surely, we should get him with DRS. Obviously, the Williams, it's going to have good pace, and there you go. He has amazing straight line speed compared to me. He's pulling away a little bit, but hopefully he's going to be too worried about overtaking Sainz. I can maybe roll it into the corner. Yes, we can. Down the inside, exactly what I said. He was too preoccupied with trying to overtake Sainz, so he didn't really look for me behind me, so I could just kind of just put it down the inside, and we're back up into 8th place. Back up. We're up into 8th place, sorry, I should say. Up into 8th place now, right behind Carlos Sainz in the Toro Rosso. Hopefully we'll be able to overtake him quite easily. I say that, but we've actually gone a little bit wide there, and Massa just about tucks in behind me. That was a very, very close thing. That was exactly identical to the thing that happened to me when Max Verstappen overtook me, but thankfully, Massa this time did not overtake me. I just managed to hang ahead of him. So we're still in 8th place, thankfully. We're going to cut later on onto lap 14 now, right behind Sainz. Look how much we gained in that corner. He's on prime tyres as well. What on earth are you doing, mate? Why did he go onto the prime tyres? You knew the rain was coming, lad, and you just went onto the prime tyres. That is absolutely silly of him, and we're up into 7th place now. So the next car up is Sergio Perez, but he comes straight into the pits. We're going to stay out here. It looks like he's going to go onto the Inter tyres. I guess the entire grid thing is the Inters, because look at the pit lane there on the mini-map. Everyone's in the pits, including my teammate. We're going to come through, still on dry tyres, and take the lead of the Grand Prix. My teammate there in 2nd place, Rosberg 3rd, and Hulkenberg 4th place, so he was a net 3rd place, that means. So shame that he couldn't keep that 1st place, because even though I would like to see my teammate win the race, if I'm not going to win it, I would love to see him win it, but it would have been absolutely amazing, you must agree, if Hulkenberg won the race after that crazy pole. But anyway, you might be questioning, Arav, why have you stayed out on option tyres? Well, again, it goes back to the fact that I still feel good grip in the car compared to previously, and I think I can get a bit of an overcut on some of the cars up ahead of me if I stick, because you can see right now I've set the inters, we're coming in this lap, but this first sector has been pretty damn good. It's a straight line, so I didn't really have any kind of issues with turning into the corner and whatnot, and right now you can see I'm struggling a little bit, but on that back straight, I think I would have gained enough time to at least overcut 1 or 2 people. We'll have to see if it works out. I mean, I might, I might come off like a complete idiot by the time we pit, but I guess we'll just have to see. We come into the stadium section, going opposite lock through that fast right-hander, which is not what you want to be doing, but as you can see, Vettel is now closing in on us, so it's definitely time now for Inters. But I have a feeling that this overcut will work, because look at the gap on the mini-map between P4 and P5, I think that was. So I think we'll be able to slot in that gap. So let's see. We're into the pits now. A little bit of gravel on our tyres. That's fine. We're going to get rid of these tyres anyway. So we're in the pit lane for the green wall intermediate tyres. And now it's just all about looking at that mini-map, seeing where we're going to be. Well, let's look at this pit stop. Nice 3.7. So a little bit slow. I would have liked that maybe to be in a 2 something, but okay then, Ferrari. We're on to the intermediate tyres. In 5th place at the moment. Is someone going to come through here? I think that's Hamilton coming through, so we're down to 6th place now. Perez right behind us. Will we slot in between them, I wonder? Yes, we will. We just get ahead of Sergio Perez. And there you go, lads. We've got an overcut on 1 car. It may have not been the 2 that I wanted, but we've got overcut on 1 car. So that did actually work out quite well. And immediately now, we're on the back of Lewis Hamilton, who's going very, very slowly, actually, off that corner on the back straight. I wonder if he's got some sort of ERS problem, or maybe that's the reason why he did so poorly in qualifying, because he's going very slowly here. Obviously, I DRS, but still, he was going so slowly off that corner. We just about get him for 5th place, having a bit of a tank slapper there on the exit of the corner, but we just about get him for 5th place. Let's look at the replay of this. So he's slot behind him and just in front of Perez there. Perez was actually very, very close. That could have been, that was very, very close to me not getting any sort of overcut, but we just about got that. And so here you can see off the corner, look how slow Hamilton is going. He's going so slowly. I wonder if either he's got some sort of issue or maybe he just kind of was taking it very cautiously off the corner because of the new conditions. But I just don't know what it was, but he was going so slowly here. And then we go down the inside. Pretty damn easy move down the inside. But then on the exit of the corner, we have a bit of a tank slap here and go pretty much sideways through the exit of the corner. But thankfully we hold it and we just about get ahead and keep ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So now on to lap 16. Now you can see Hamilton is still very much behind us. We just made that move. We cut back to the action and Hamilton is still very much behind us. Our engine is overheating a little bit, so we're going to have to be wary of that. Right now Valtteri Bottas in 4th. So at the moment that means Vettel from Rosberg, from Hülkenberg, then Bottas, then myself, then Hamilton, and then Perez, and then Sainz, I think it was. So that's the order of the grid right now in the race on lap 17. So you can see now off the hairpin on lap 17, Hamilton is dropping back from us, and it looks like actually he's being a bit pressured behind from Perez. So again, I must say that Hamilton is struggling so much, and I don't know why, but oh dear. As we look on our POV, we can see we've gone very, very deep. We went a little bit too aggressively into the braking zone, locked up on the left tyre. Now Hamilton trying to go right around the outside. He's gained back all that time that we got to him. So that was very, very close to losing the position there. And so Hamilton is right on the back of us now. So we've gone from very comfortable to very bad. No, that's very bad. That's race over. That's it. We are going no further in the German Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and myself have got a DNF here at the German Grand Prix. I even tried to flash back here. You can see I desperately tried to rewind back even more to try and get out of this incident because I didn't want it to end. I was having such a good Grand Prix and it's had to end like this, which is it's such a shame. And you know, being completely honest with you guys, I keep one flashback on these Ultra Mod races in case something goes wrong, in case an invisible wall comes up, in case there's some glitch. And in this case, I tried to flash back out of it. I would have just edited it out like nothing happened, to be completely honest with you guys. But I legit couldn't actually rewind out of it. So I have to put my hands up and just say I just made a huge mistake, and that's cost us a whole load of points. Sebastian Vettel has won the race. It's a 1-2 for the Germans. Rosberg in 2nd, so they've done amazingly. Vettel's done amazingly. Well done to my teammate for getting 1st place in his home race, something I couldn't do this season. But that is a shocker to the championship, because that means now Rosberg is 1 point ahead of me, 137 points in leading the championship. I'm 2nd now, 1 point behind. Vettel 134. It is oh so close. There are 3 points between 1st and 3rd there for the championship. Hamilton scores no points, and now he is level with Felipe Massa there in 4th and 5th. And that is huge for the championship. That's blown this championship wide open for Rosberg, myself, or Vettel. And even you could say Hamilton and Massa, if they have consistent races, they could get back into it. But right now it's looking like a top 3 horse race. But that is absolutely devastating for us. And yeah, you know, these things happen in racing. You know, you have these moments in the season. I'm hoping that will probably be my last. But that was a huge mistake on my part. And I'm just so gutted for that. Hopefully, thankfully, Ferrari is still ahead in the constructors, so I haven't hindered the team. But yeah, what a crap way to end the Grand Prix. That was really annoying because I had amazing pace. We would have surely been on for a podium at least, so that is definitely very annoying. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed that episode, smash that like button. Comment below what you thought. If you're around here, then do subscribe for weekly videos. It'd be absolutely awesome, guys. We can try and aim for 1,500 likes on this episode, guys. I've been aarava, home to the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Next race, it's time to forget this race and try and just pick ourselves back up like we did in Silverstone. Goodbye.